Mapfiles are a BlackRock Microsystems configuration file used to map electrode IDs to channel IDs in Central, Stim Manager, and other BlackRock software. In addition to making the pairing between these two IDs, Mapfiles also contain some information about relative electrode geometry, allowing one to change the electrode display to reflect electrode position. This video covers the use and creation of Mapfiles. Though BlackRock will provide Mapfiles with all electrodes we sell, you may choose to create your own for custom or third-party electrodes that you work with. To get started, let's take a look at how to open a Mapfile so that we can understand the contents. You can find example Mapfiles on our website, www.blackrockmicro.com, and use those to follow along. I have here some of the Mapfiles downloaded from the website. If we look at the file extensions, we can see that they are all labeled as .cmp files. Even though they have this custom extension, they are able to be opened as text files in a standard text editor. I am just using Notepad here, but other editors work as well. We can see at the top here that Mapfiles are actually quite descriptive. They define what each parameter within the file actually modifies. At the bottom of the file, we have 5 columns. Each one is one of the parameters defined above. On the left, we have row and column. These are zero-index row and column positions that control how channels are presented in the software visually. The next 2 columns are 2 columns that show channel number. BlackRock products operate in banks of 32 channels, each bank being labeled with a letter. Thus, A31 represents channel 31, A32 represents channel 32, and B1 represents channel 33. These channels refer to the physical pin on our recording system, and these physical pins are associated with software channels. If you ever need to see this in more detail in Central, it can be found in the hardware configuration under Channel Properties. The final column is the channel label. This one allows one to label the channel using these files. When BlackRock Microsystems provides your Mapfile with your electrode, it will assign labels that match the electrode ID so that it is easy to match channels with electrodes. Keep in mind that channel labels can also be edited manually within the software. Let's take a look at how loading a Mapfile in Central looks. First, open up Spike Panel. This is the easiest place to load a Mapfile, but do keep in mind that other apps also have this loading button, or it can be loaded in the main panel by clicking on File, Load Mapfile. In all cases, the changes are global. It only needs to be loaded in one place, not all of them. So, back to Spike Panel. The top right corner of the window has Mapfile Controls. This button is for loading a Mapfile, which we will do shortly. This one reverts to a default Mapfile, and this one shows information about the currently loaded Mapfile. Let's go ahead and load the Mapfile we were just looking at. There. Now we can see the channel and labels have changed. Now let's go back and edit our Mapfile. Let's change the position here, and let's change the label. Now if we save this and go back to Spike Panel, we can load our edited Mapfile. We will get a prompt asking us if it's okay to change the electrodes. Let's say yes here. Now we can see that the channel moved to the position that we specified and the label has been updated. Great! This tutorial covers the basics of working with Mapfiles. We covered the purpose of Mapfiles, and we covered how to open, edit, and load them. This should allow you to make Mapfiles for your own electrodes and understand the purpose of the files that ship with your electrodes from BlackRock Microsystems. Thank you again for joining us for this tutorial. For information on Central or our other products, be sure to visit www.blackrockmicro.com.